Good morning, everybody. Today on the Outdoor Home Stay at Home Cooking Show, we're going to do sweet potato hash, breakfast or brunch, whatever you prefer. And we're going to do something fun today. We're going to try to keep our entire activities on the Big Green Egg Dutch oven, which is a enameled cast iron Dutch oven. Obviously, it's an oval style here. And one of the coolest things about this piece of tech is that it's actually two or three tools in one. You can actually use it as just a standard old Dutch oven, or you can use it as a Dutch oven with a lid and another cooking surface up here, or you can use it as two separate pieces. And we're going to probably do all three of those today with any luck. So, what I have here is one sweet potato diced, one regular just Idaho potato just diced, and we're going to mix that together. Have a little bit of chili powder, oregano, salt, pepper, thyme, and a little bit of sage mixed up for just some dusting on the sweet potatoes. Have some onions. I took a few pre-cooked brats that we had in the fridge. It's just what we had laying around. They're actually cheese brats from Johnsonville, and dice those up. And then, of course, we have some red peppers. And what we're going to do to get started is, in the spirit of using only the Dutch oven, we're actually going to do all of our mixing in the Dutch oven. I'm going to take all my potatoes. So there's kind of two stages to this. There's the bake of the potatoes, which takes a little longer. And then we use those softened potatoes to mix in the other goodies and kind of create a medley, a hash, if you will. And we're just going to mix these in here. I'm going to take probably, maybe ends up being a fourth cup of olive oil. Toss those things around, toss some seasoning in there. And this is just going to be purely the baking stage. A little spatula here. Stir this around. This has been a favorite in our family for many years. Go pretty liberal on the seasoning. Maybe a little more olive oil. As you can see, it's not a science, it's more of a feel thing. We're going to set this inside of the egg for about 25-30 minutes. I've got it at a comfortable 400 indirect. And what I like to do is put some thyme. Stir off some thyme there. Put it on top. Never go wrong with fresh herbs. And I'll show you in a second what this looks like. You get some really nice color in these potatoes. Now the white potatoes, or the Idaho potatoes, tend to cook a little faster than sweet potatoes in my experience. So I cut those just a little bit bigger so they'll be a little more even with our sweet potatoes, but not to worry. Okay, so that's evenly in the pan here, and you can see just got a nice coloring, a nice dusting of that seasoning. I'll post that recipe that I mix up there in the comments if you like. And we're just going to do this good old-fashioned way and set it here. And while this is cooking, we're going to pause the live for just a second. And but before, I'll tell you kind of what the setup is here, because you don't need to watch 25 minutes of this doing nothing. So after this is done, after they're relatively close, we're going to throw in some onions, peppers, and a little olive oil, and maybe a little bit of our seasoning. Let those soften up a little bit. Throw in our sausage because it's already cooked. We don't need to cook it a lot, just kind of brown it up. And then we're going to toss in the potatoes on top of it, mix that all up, and with any luck, we'll be able to cook a fried egg on here or two, lay it over the top. It'll make a perfect sweet potato hash. And like I said, it's been one of our favorites. So stay tuned. We'll be right back when these potatoes are at temperature. Okay, we are back. We have been cooking these potatoes for about 25 minutes. They're not getting nice and soft, nice and seasoning. They smell amazing. And I have a few eggs here warming up. I think it's always good. If you're going to cook eggs, put them out 10, 15 minutes before, or run some warm water over them. That way when they hit the pan, they're not as shocked by the temperature. I think it helps helps keep them not sticking to the pan. So I'm going to add just a little bit more seasoning. I snuck a taste test before we came back live here. Just a little bit more seasoning. Sweet potatoes are still coming down in softness, but we're about perfect timing. So go ahead and put these up here. And this is the Big Green Egg XL. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. We're going to go ahead and get this pan hot. But the XL is really great for this type of cook. This will feed the whole family and maybe even some of the neighbors. Let's see if we can't get that to close. Well, you know what? Thought I'd done that before. Let's do this. What we're trying to do is get our small pan a little closer to the heat. And Big Green Egg cooks very evenly, as you probably well know. But I think getting just a little bit tiny closer to the convector here, we can get that heated up a little bit sooner. I'm going to open up my grates. So a little recap. We've got diced sweet potatoes, diced Idaho or russet potatoes, I think is what they call those. And we have some seasoning here, mix of chili powder, a little bit of cayenne, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, oregano. The Outdoor Home steak and roast rub, I'm out of that, but that would be also a great choice. I throw in a little chili powder with that once in a while when I'm cooking breakfast things. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. This is my absolute favorite sauce on the planet, Yellowbird. You've heard us talk about Yellowbird. If you haven't tried it, you are missing out, I promise. There's something for everybody. This one is a little bit more mild than a couple of the others, a little bit more sweet, blue agave sriracha. I'm a personal fan of this one. The ghost pepper is also really good. The jalapeno condiment is really good. We're going to top everything off with that. You may notice I have some butter and garlic here. And actually, we're going to throw those garlic cloves in right now. I'm glad I said that because we didn't want them to necessarily burn. We did want to add a little bit of savory to those potatoes. I just lost my top rack. Another thing, while we're on that topic, we're using the expander kit, which came out a couple years ago. And man, it's just awesome. You get twice the use out of your grill with this. I've cooked like 40 something hot dogs and brats on this at once. So it really lets you get the most out of your egg. Also lets you put in things like the cast iron, half moon, or full moon. You can just do several different combinations of high and low grilling. So we'll let that come back up. Let our pan get hot for just a second. We don't need too much heat to cook our potato or our onions and peppers, but we do want to get a little browning on them. And like I said, if all goes well, we'll throw everything back into the main pot, and then we'll use that final pan for some eggs and put those on top. Pretty hot in here. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Got a little bit of grate dust on my pan here. One great thing about the enameled Dutch ovens compared to maybe a regular Dutch oven is they have a really smooth surface, so they're going to be really good for non-stick action. Let me get those going. Maybe also notice I have some parsley here. I'll show you what that's for at the end. So we want to get these a nice sizzle. Open this back up in a couple minutes when they're all sizzling. Okay, we got these onions sizzling nice and hot, which is exactly what we want. Starting to smell really good. This is a great thing to get up in the morning and do. It's a tad bit chilly out this morning, but when you're standing over the grill, you've got a good background and birds are chirping. Totally worth the effort. It's just fun, man. Lots and lots of fun we had out here on the egg. So we hope you guys are finding the joy, finding the silver lining in all of the stay-at-home order. And I just mixed in this bratwurst. These were already pre-cooked brats. Just had them laying around, and they make a great breakfast addition, almost like a smoked sausage. You could do hot links. You could do ground sausage. I do that quite a bit with this dish. You could do, heck, you could even do hot dogs if you had them laying around. You could do steak, I suppose. If you had a steak left over from last night, chop that up and dice it up and put it in here. Point is, it's a really versatile dish. And I'm going to pull the potatoes out so you can see how great they look. Set this up here. That's almost, for all intents and purposes, that's basically done. You can see these potatoes are getting a nice hash to them, nice browning, and that seasoning is, that thyme we put in there is just giving a real nice herbal presence about it. Stirring that garlic up in there. What I like to do is I put the whole garlic in as it softens up, kind of mash it around. Just kind of savories up the flavor. And now what we're going to do is dump the sauteed onions in there. You may ask, why did we not just do this in the hash in the first place? The reason is we don't want to push that around too much. As potatoes get soft and they could break up. We don't want to mush them up. But now that they're kind of sauteed and soft and we don't have to stir it much, I'm going to put that in here. Get all this out that we can. In this pan, this isn't scientific. This isn't as precise as maybe doing it on the stovetop. But it should be just about the right temperature to do an egg on top. And we're going to test that theory. I've done this once before, and it worked out great. Put a little butter in here. And you know it's hot enough to cook an egg when the butter kind of bubbles up. So we're not quite at that temperature. I may do this. Let me go ahead and put this a little closer to the grate. I was telling somebody yesterday, if you like experimenting, you like a new adventure, you like the art of cooking, the egg is totally the machine, because as you can see here, we're doing what's normally a direct frying function in more of an indirect style. And if we get it hot enough, I guess the laws of science say that it'll still cook. But we're doing this. Imagine if we were out in a campfire and all we had was a cast iron pan. Wouldn't this be fun? We'd have everything we'd need in the egg. So while that's heating up, I want to remind you guys, we are available for private showings. We've got some sales coming up that you guys can shop from home via Facebook Live, or come in the store. We'll do a private showing, or we can do curbside pickup. We're also doing deliveries of all shapes and sizes. If you're out of charcoal, you're out of pellets, you want to pick up some of this Yellowbird sauce, maybe some hardcore carnivore seasoning, maybe some Dizzy Dust, all that stuff, we will do the order over the phone, bring it to you. Matter of fact, I actually had them bring me some charcoal yesterday and some pecan chunks. We're going to be doing ribs later this weekend, and that's what we're all about. We're making sure you guys can enjoy the outdoors, enjoy your time at home. Hope you're finding peace and good vibes with your family. And this is just about perfect. Okay, so normally in a pan, I would be all about having a really smooth oil slick surface so I could flip them. But I've got a spatula over here I'm going to use to flip today. I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil just so we don't have any sticking going on. That's the only thing that could mess us up right here. And if it does, we'll find a way to make it all come out in the end. So I'm going to take my eggs. Let's do a test to see how well it's cooking there. Oh, yeah. Perfect egg cooking temperature. It'll cook a little slower than maybe on a pan, but actually will probably work in our favor. We'll do 2 at a time. Just go ahead and close that so they cook from the other side. So while these are firming up here, go ahead and reveal the parsley is all for show. That's at the end. Might add a little bit of texture or flavor, but we're going to put that in to make a really impressive dish. I'm actually going to go grab my plate that we're going to put some of this on so you can see the final product. I'll be right back. You know what? Let's go with some Fiesta bowls. That'll make it look pretty. Okay, eggs are coming up nicely. I like to sprinkle just a little bit of salt and pepper on my eggs. You may like them just good old-fashioned way. No problems at all. This non-stick surface is working out perfectly. That's the enameled cast iron. Probably have a little harder time in a true cast iron. I'm a fried egg guy, so you might like scrambled eggs, which would probably make this part slightly less daunting. Cook a little more. But the point is that you get to choose. Turn this around. Oh, yeah. Wait till you see the color on this. This is Instagram worthy, folks. Let our eggs firm up just a little bit more. Get they're ready to flip. We can probably get away with flip. You may like them sunny side up, which would be ready to go right now. Broke the yolk on that one, but this one's looking like it's in good shape. I actually like a broken yolk, so I'll take that one. We'll keep the other one for our presentation here. Well, that's finishing. Look at that. Almost like pioneer cooking. Just throw everything in a big pan, moving around with a big wooden spoon. That's what we got going on. Perfectly cooked potatoes. Wish you could smell it. All the herbs are coming through. Hint of that garlic. Um, uh, Peppers. You can use green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, any peppers you like. We got red for the color today. And we're just going to take a little bit of this, put it in our bowl here. Pull this egg back here. Lay that on top. Now, here's the magic. A little bit of yellowbird sauce. Actually, a lot of yellowbird sauce. You cannot go wrong with yellowbird sauce. There you go. Sweet potato hash, the fried egg on top, parsley, yellowbird sauce to top. Hope you guys are having a great time. Try this one out for breakfast or brunch or dinner if you like. And we'll see you on the next outdoor home, stay at home cooking show. Have a good day.